Beercan Skyline's back! It's finally back on the channel. This is my Nissan Skyline R32 GTST drift missile, which is known by its nickname, the Beercan. That's right, it's finally back. It's been about 5 years since this has been on the channel, and a lot of people thought that it was being worked on in the background. It wasn't. It's been a while, so here's a bit of a recap of what this car is. So back in the day, I wanted to buy myself an Ebisu Circuit drift missile, and I'll just say it now because it doesn't really matter anymore. It cost $4,000, and it was pretty clean apart from a dent on the back. That's it. The way it worked was I'd live down here in Tokyo. I'd keep this car up at Ebisu Circuit because I had kind of a deal with Ebisu because I did some sort of part-time work for them where instead of payment, they gave me a gold card and a place to keep this car. That's my expired gold card right there. This is unlimited free entry to Ebisu Circuit, which I thought was a pretty good deal. What I do is I put all my wheels and tires in my van, drive my van up there during the night, sleep out front of the gate, get up in the morning, drift all day, go back to Tokyo that night. Sometimes I'd even look at the weather report a few days ahead, and if it was raining, I'd go up there, and because I had the free entry with the gold card and it wouldn't use any tires, I could drift all day just for the cost of the fuel and the tolls, and that's it. I got a lot of practice in, especially on places like Minami Circuit, which is a lot of fun. The only downside of this was I'd have to do all the maintenance of the car up there at Ebisu Circuit. So I have to drive 3 hours to get up there. Sometimes I'd spend all day working on the car and not even be able to drive. In fact, there was one day where I fixed the car. I was able to get one lap before they closed the circuit for that day. There was also one time when I changed the rear cradle for a strengthened one, and I found out mid-installation in the pits with just hand tools that the new strengthening brackets were getting in the way of the arms. And I ran out of time, so I had to get them to forklift the entire car down the back and just sort of dump it there until I could come back to Tokyo, work out what I needed to do, go back, and then do it all in a sloped car park, like trying to get the whole rear end of the cradle up in. It was, yeah. Sometimes it was less than ideal, but other times it was a lot of fun. I got to drive Matsuri. This car performed really well. People always thought it was a lot more tuned than it is. It's just a standard RB20 engine as far as I know, with an R33 turbo, the steel wheel turbo, not the ceramic. But I only ever boosted it to about like 1 kilo or about 13, just under 13 PSI, I think it was. And it ran all day. It got the name Beercan because of the sticker on the door there that looks like the Asahi beer logo. It says Alexi Super Drift instead of Super Dry. I put that on there because after it had been crashed a few times, I thought, oh, it kind of looks like a crumpled up beer can. And because back then in the sort of original wave of Ebisu Circuit drift missiles when everyone drove a Nissan, I wanted to make it stand out a little bit in the crowd so everyone could say, oh, there's Alexi's car over there. So I had a friend design up that logo, put it on there, and it got the name the Beercan. Some of you might remember the video when I went up to Ebisu Circuit with Seo-san to rescue this car after the turbo blew at, I think it was the spring 2019 Matsuri. The idea then was to take it to Seo-san's shop and work on it, because by then there were a bunch of things that had gone wrong with it, and the turbo blew. I thought, look, I want to put it somewhere, work on it a bit, fix all the problems that are wrong with it. But then, I mean, you all remember what happened after 2019, right? Everybody's schedules kind of changed, and I just kind of forgot about it there out in the field. But now that we have this workshop and I have a truck to go and pick up things like this, I thought I'm going to bring it back here and at least start working on it, because everything that's wrong with this car is my fault, which is good because I know what's wrong with it, but I've kind of forgotten. So I'm sure as soon as I start looking at it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that. You've got to start somewhere, and it's here. So it does start, as you can see, aluminium GTR bonnet, by the way. But I don't know, look, let's just start by cleaning out the interior. I think it's probably the best thing to do. And one other thing I should say as well is that this is the car that everybody asks about. Like when I went to Final Bout a little while back, every single person I spoke to, basically, asked about this car. Where's the beer can? Oh no, that ain't right. Ugh. Yeah, that's genuine GDR bumper, by the way. Random stickers. Oh yeah, it looks like a rat got in here or something. Yeah, look, someone got in here and chewed up the Ebisu Matsuri entry. Look, 2019 entry, Matsuri, Spring Matsuri. Oh yeah, the paperwork. So this car does actually have paperwork, so it could be re-registered. Like I could make it a street car. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could happen. So let's have a look. So it was first registered in 1993 in Gunma, and it was deregistered in 2008. And it was deregistered actually not too far from here to a guy, and it had 110,000 kilometers when it was deregistered. How many's it got now? There we go, 123,020. Yeah, it's a low mileage car, but it's done like 13,000 drift kilometers though. The seat's missing because I stole it for another car. One thing that's wrong with it right now is I think the handbrake is frozen on. They're stuck on. Hang on, we need to change this. We need to change it right now. This has been waiting this whole time to go on. Here we go. Cujo Garage, and it's a shift knob, custom shift knob. I don't even know if they're making these anymore. You might want to check their Instagram, but there you go, look, resin filled with a thread in Nissan thread. How good's that? It's pretty chunky for a shift knob, but that is perfect. How good's that? The genuine Nismo ghost-shaped one has done a good job, but I think we're going to use the actual beer can one for now. Speaking of cans, I can't believe these things have lasted either. And the Jibanyan plushie. I don't even know if they make Yokai Watch series anymore. I think just Pokemon's taken back over. All right, interior just dirty, but no bubble here, by the way. No R32 bubble. There is a bit of a bubble right there, though. But no big bubble, which is amazing. It's been sitting out in the summer sun for 5 years or so. Oh yeah, I came back to the car one time and someone had left some Dutch clogs on it. I guess as a souvenir. Old school Perfect B boost controller, and this is a Mines boost gauge. And it works too, but it's really hard to read, so I never really used it. I just sort of just hanging there. Oh, free nippers. Nice. All right, what else we got? Helmet. I sometimes get free stuff from people like at Ebisu Matsuri who are like going home. They don't want to take stuff with them, so I just get free things like that. Oh, there's the battery clamp. I thought I lost it. Not valid after 2010. Probably won't be using that. I think this is a genuine R34 GTR. I mean, genuine, it's got a big dent, but I think, yeah, in the back of the car, there's like a full front mount kit that I was sort of planning to put on, but I don't know if that'll happen now. Man, what are these? Oh, the floor mats. These are the old floor mats. They're all dead, like they're all cracked. Listen. That's probably not a good idea. All right, probably clean that out later. Unfortunately, a lot of the stickers have not survived that well. Yeah, they've all fallen off, look. Crunchy sticker. All right, I'm just making more mess now. All right, if I recall correctly, the boot lid was being held on by the, yeah, it's stuck. Okay, how do I get that off? Can I, oh yeah, I can, hang on. All right, here's a little trick for Nissans. The latch assembly has the wire coming from the bottom, whereas Toyotas have it coming from the top. But what you can do is, if you reach behind here, there's a little lever, and you just go like that, and it undoes the latch, like that. I don't know if it's like this on all Toyotas, but you can see the cable release goes to the top, right? And I already opened this one. The wire goes up to here, but on, again, I don't know if on all models, but on Nissans it's down here. And this little assembly sort of pushes up on the thing and undoes it. So there you go. Not necessarily the most, interesting information, but on drift cars, they tend to get stuck quite a lot. Oh, good. Wet cardboard boxes full of stuff. That's always fun. Open brake fluid, that's guaranteed to still be okay. Unbent arm, a GDR sway bar maybe. Yeah, Ebisu spare bits and pieces. Oh man. Oil filter. Does it have the plastic on it? It does. Oh, I can still use that. It's like free money. Horns. All right, well, shop vac has a job to do. Sort of try and get some of the gunk off it so it doesn't fall in my eyes when I'm lying under it. That's what it looks like on the inside. It used to be a lot worse, but I bought a Porta Power one time and sort of pushed out the side a little bit so it wasn't too caved in, because this used to be like all the way in here. Here you go. If you look at this part, it's nice, just dirty. All right, up on jack stands now. For how long? Who knows? Start the clock. Well, it's December now, so R32 day, like 2nd of March, might be a goal, I don't know. Also, big brain move, if you have a car you know is not going to move for a long time, run flats. Oh yeah, these spacers, you got to see this. One thing I want to do is get the brake calipers rebuilt, because they've never had it done. And also these rotors have it's flat and then a huge lip there. So maybe some new rotors, but yeah, look at this. All right, ready? Bolt-on spacer. Slip-on. Slip-on. Another slip-on. Another slip-on. Do not do this. I want to replace everything. There's nothing on here that I like the look of right now. Well, we'll pull these off for now and send them away to get rebuilt. Yeah, we're going to be putting a lot of lipstick on this pig. There's a big egg sac on there. I think it might be praying mantis, but yeah, the whole rear is kind of frozen up. I don't know from what. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass getting it in here with no battery. Look at the leaky old Tane suspension. Not a mechanic, by the way. Yeah, it's about time I replace those. There we go. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is get the pistons and the seals serviced. It's not a very big job, but I would like the car to be able to stop when I want it to. See the edge of it? It goes up. So these are pretty worn out. I mean, the hubs might be okay, but look, if I'm going to be taking this whole thing apart, I might as well get everything serviced. Hey, remember that M1 rifle sound effect? Ping! These pads are kind of stuck. Shouldn't really do this, but oh, it kind of moves. Okay. These are basically 0 as well. Okay. Nice spider's nest in there as well. Yeah, these could do with a rebuild. Also, look at that brake fluid. All right, is this actually stuck or? No, it turns. It turns, but it's stuck. And you can see here, there's two little holes. There's two holes in the rotors, one here and one here, that you can put a bolt into and like screw in and it will pop the rotor off, but I don't have those. I don't have that size. I thought I did, but I don't, so we'll have to do that later. All right, that'll do for today, I think. This car has sat for 5 years with nothing being done to it, even though it's probably the most requested car on the channel. Like, you go on any YouTube video that I post, in there somewhere will be someone going, hey, remember that Skyline you had, what happened to it? Or even on Instagram posts, something completely unrelated, someone go, hey, where's the Beercan? The options, here's the options. Number one is it has paperwork. You don't really see that many R32 GDSTs on the road these days. Could potentially make it back into a street car. I don't think that's a good idea. Look, this became famous, I guess you could say, through thrashing at Ebisu Circuit, at Matsuri and things like that. It deserves to get back into that state. So that's the real, like the really old school definition of a missile car, was a car that looks beaten up, it looks plain, but has really good parts underneath. And compared to how it was back in the day to now, there's a lot more options, especially for Skylines when it comes to suspension and the arms and things like that, that we could make it perform really well. Because like looking back at the old videos, like I went back and had a bit of a look at them, the driving standard has gone up a lot compared to back then to how it is now. So it would be nice to be able to keep up with everybody else. Even though it does have an RB20, that I think also is part of the charm of this car, is driving something that's slightly underpowered, that's a bit unexpected, and keeping up with everyone else. Like I said before, March 2nd, there's usually an R32 event on somewhere. I don't know, that might be a bit ambitious for now. Of course, it still has the blown turbo, which I should take off, and so I might have to start reaching out to some people and see if anyone wants to get involved with this project. I have an idea in my head of what I'd like to do. I don't know if that's achievable or not, because this is just one more car in here that doesn't run. There's this one, there's the beans over there. Oh, you might have noticed too that the S15 is not here, and that's because here's a bit of good news. It's currently at a panel shop getting a full wide body and paint job done to it. The brand new Car Modify Wonder Aero and big fat wheels are going on it, and on top of that, it's going to get debuted at Tokyo Auto Salon. That's right, the S15 is going to be in the Tokyo Auto Salon on the Car Modify Wonder stand, and I'm going to have a little booth there as well to go along with it. I'm going to have stickers for sale. So yeah, if you're going to come to the Auto Salon, come find me at the Noriero booth at Tokyo Auto Salon. It's cool, isn't it? Like this was the car I made the very, very first Noriero video with. Going snow drifting at Ebisu Circuit. As always, thanks for watching. I'm going to put up some highlight videos of the Beercan up until now if you want to get caught up with the lore. Also, right at the end of the video, there'll be a playlist of all the videos and some other ones too. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Okay, what's the plan?